for the Canadian Esports Championship Series League of Legends division. We are back with JBB versus Scoop City, and even though we don't have him on camera, we have Stefano back as well. So Stefano's going to join us for the cast, but since those internet issues were happening, I know, Stefano, you weren't able to catch all that much of the game of this past game. So Lucan, I'll go to you first as we get into the draft. What kind of adjustments are you looking for as we already see the Darius come out from JBB?
I want to see them either A, figure out a way to get through the amount of disengage that there was. As far as it goes, like maybe coming up, I can't see them doing it because I've never seen them do it before.
Yeah.
Something more akin to a poke composition. I couldn't. I realistically can't see that happening.
Yeah.
Or possibly going for just full on everyone can hard engage, and then even if they do have the disengage, we beat them out faster. I do like seeing the fact that they're taking away the Lee Sin top, because that definitely was something that was very prominent from Sacknut there, and JBB going with a Alistar first pick here, so see what that leads into.
Something to note as well here is that they have subbed in. So Aldre is out now for Scoop City. Now that they're on the red side, they've dropped Aldre for this game. Maiden ADC is back, so likely we're going to look at Dinsbag in the top lane. And we do see both Darius and Set taken away. JBB reacting to that. I like this idea. So Dinsbag now is likely going to a top. We see the Bard. That's going to be Scoop Lord down in the bot lane. So we are predicting potentially Jelly to be looking towards those solo lanes with the Bard, trying to find those picks. Now, you know, a Bard first pick into an Alistar, Stefano, I'll ask you about like what you think of that matchup in terms of just those two supports facing up against each other.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised by the pick for Scoop City. Bard, it's not that Bard necessarily does poorly into Alistar, but when you pick Bard, you generally want to go for this highly roaming, high roam style, high influence. But Alistar can do that like just as well as Bard can, so you're not going to be getting a lot of advantages, which means that Bard's primary purpose in this comp isn't going to be to roam. It's going to be some other facet of his gameplay, whether that means really crucial tempered fates for engages, or whether that means just general map control that Bard can possess. But either way, it's Scoop Lord picking this either shows that he's very comfortable with this matchup, or that he's got another trick up his sleeve.
Well, we do see a couple of more picks coming in. Of course, Tristana taken up by JBB. That's going to be Alistar, Tristana lane, and GG Denied already showed how destructive he could be on that pick. Volibear as well for Kid Corito, and Xin Zhao for Jelly on the other side, as well as Samira picked up, or Samira hovered, but there it is. The Jinx coming in. Jinx, an amazing AD carry in the late game right now. All they need is to set her up and make sure there's a good amount of peel, because that Alistar and Volibear might be threatening the Jinx.
And while Jinx is a good AD carry, I got a question what they're going to round this out with here, because generally speaking, you want like a solid enchanter that's going to protect the Jinx. I mean, I think Bard can do that with his ult, which stops her damage output, and then also can give her movement speed, but I don't see the peel for her right now. I know that she's strong, but as far as in my mind the way this goes, I'm not exactly sure you want to be going for a team fight comp here based on the strengths that I've seen from Scoop City. So I'm a little confused by it, but Stefano, you're the bot lane expert. How would you look at this pick here and this part of the rotation?
Yeah, I would just go so far as to say it's bad. I mean, there's a Jinx is great when you can get behind these huge front lines, and like maybe, as you said, throw an enchanter. Enchanter's not necessary, but you either need a big front line or an enchanter for someone like Jinx. She's got no mobility. In the most recent patch, they just nerfed her base HP and her base HP growth. She's very squishy. She's susceptible to dive. You already see a Volibear on the other team, who, like, you can't CC out of the ult. So it really seems like unless you get all sorts of good frontline and even better positioning by this Jinx is going to have a lot of trouble staying alive.
Oh, well, Jinx maybe going to be tough to protect. Twisted Fate is picked up by Scoop City, looking for more cross-map potential there with the Bard. But yeah, Jinx seems like a bit of an odd duck in this comp for sure, as Xerath is coming through. We'll go back to you on that, Lucan. But we do have to talk a little bit, about the jungle matchup here with Volibear, and of course Xin Zhao, not a champion you see that often here, and so Xin Zhao a bit of a
And
faster
it's locked
clear
in.
than
Oh
Volibear,
boy.
and that's the Xerath. So Lucan, it's your time to shine, baby. Xerath versus Twisted Fate. What's going on here?
I love to see the champion, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I do have to question how well is Birdman going to be able to play Xerath. I will also say I love the matchup. Anytime that you can go into a TF, TF does not have a fun time in lane ever. As far as if you play it correctly, and by playing it correctly, I mean you can literally, if you don't want to play aggressive, you can sit back, poke him down, and then make his life hell. So even for like roaming potential, as long as you can get into pixel brush, you're able to match the damage output generally that Twisted Fate's going to output at the same time, just by throwing your ult down in this situations. But yeah, I'm excited. Needless to say, I play that champion a couple of times.
Yeah. So you'd have been known to pick it up, to flex onto it. Riven was the last pick for JBB up in the top lane. Sacknut once again going on to a very aggressive pick in the top lane, and the answer, Stefano, is the Mordekaiser. So the Riven into Mordekaiser matchup definitely going to be volatile here. Riven absolutely having the upper hand in the early game, though.
Yeah, I gotta say, just looking at these comps, JBB's comp is much more cohesive.
Yeah.
They have both. They have both a lot of dive in, these things like Volibear, Alistair, Riven. They're able to force fights when they want. They can get into people with relative immunity. Even Xerath has the ability to hit just because of his bigger range. And Scoop City's response to that seems to be, "Oh man, I hope we win early game." Because otherwise, I don't really see a way that Scoop City can do this. They don't have a better team fight. They do have a slightly good pick comp with something like RTF, but there's nothing else really on that team to help round that out. Even late game, one of the only people that can rival Jinx is the Tristana, but Tristana's got a bunch more frontline in front of her. JBB just seems to have completely ran away with this draft.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that this front line for JBB is huge, and the front line for Scoop City, well, it's pretty much non-existent. You've got the Xin Zhao coming in here, who's going to be at least a little more survivable, and the Mordekaiser, who's taking one champion out of the fight. But yeah, very, very tough to play for this composition for Scoop City. Not a lot of appeal available for them, and this is an interesting one too, because we're likely to see Dinsbag onto the Mordekaiser, and I don't know if we've seen Dinsbag play Mordekaiser a single time in this whole league.
Not that I know of. And looking at that pick from him, I mean, it stands up to what he plays. He plays a lot of, a lot of juggernauts. I was trying to remember the class for a second that they actually play. I do want to bring a counterpoint here, though. There is a lot of pick potential on Scoop City's side. If I got to give them any credit for anything, if they're able to beat out on rotations and be faster at the rotations, they have everything that they'd need to just catch anybody out on a rotation from any lane right now. Looking even at like the Xin Zhao, for jumping in, Bard for catching somebody out to make sure that they can turn a fight, if positioned properly, of course, with the ult, into a let's say a 3v3 into a 3v1 for just a second, you've got the advantage there, and I can give it to him just for that. But I think overall, yeah, I got to agree, JBB's comp is hands down better. I mean, they have Xerath, like they kind of just win if they play it perfectly.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, the pick potential definitely is good, and that is something we have to give Scoop City credit for last game, is that when they were way behind, they still managed to have a couple of pretty cunning rotations around that dragon, and being able to at least find a few weird little picks here and there. But in general, Scoop City are just so volatile in the way that they play, and this pick composition just requires surgical precision with which to use that Twisted Fate and Bard ultimates, and to find ways to get that Jinx into the fight. And Scoop City, like, I don't know, they're less surgeons and they're more blacksmiths, right? They're more about the blunt force with the way that they play. So we'll see how this works out. We're gonna just extend this discussion a little bit through through the spectator delay here for the competitive integrity delay. And I'll just mention Scoop Lord one more time, who's come in and who hasn't been playing on Scoop City for most of the season here. Scoop Lord now, in my interview with him, like I said, he mentioned Bard is definitely his support pocket pick. And so, we talked about how the Bard doesn't fit that well into the composition, but maybe it's the comfort pick diff that's going to come in with Scoop Lord on Bard. I know he loves to play this champion, and Xerath, is able to sit back, but there is the chance, of course, that if you get sort of a Bard Xin Zhao combination, if Xerath does get caught out, he's pretty immobile. It's quite difficult to dodge those ganks.
Yeah, I do think the Bard is almost out of place in this team comp, but I want to say almost everyone on that team is out of place in that team comp. But they do have. You're definitely right. With the tempered fates are going to be so important because much of the backline of JBB is good. It's like really only the Volibear Tristana. If you can hit both of them with the Tempered Fate from Bardal, you probably just insta win that fight because you have a hyperscaling Jinx. That being said, realistically, Xerath and Tristana probably shouldn't be standing beside each other just about ever. So it is going to be on Scoop City to see if they can force and corral JBB into a spot where they're able to get these AoE abilities off, where they're able to get the Jinx with Runans, the Tempered Fate, Mordekaiser just in general off. The agency's this game is going to completely lie with Scoop City to make something happen.
Yeah, so much onus on them. And as we take into the final minute before we begin the game, I do have to mention, once again, Scoop City on the verge of elimination here. And right after, Lucan, right after Dinsbag just released his latest diss track out into the world, which some people in chat have already been mentioning. I know, you are our resident diss track expert on the Red Bull analyst desk. So I got to ask you, did you check out that diss track before the game?
I took a brief listen as well too.
Right.
There was definitely some noises going on in it. I can't say that lyrically it was there, but there. I heard a shout out to Wheelie a couple of times. Scoop.
I'm pretty sure he told everyone to get vaccinated, which also everyone watching, do that. Good
that
idea.
Is the official position of the CECS, by the way.
Yeah.
Please do that. So good on you, Dins, for that. But that's the question. Will they be able to take the energy that they got from that diss track and be able to get through there? Because it sounds like a lot of what Dins was talking about with that diss track was aimed at Birds Aren't Real, who will play against the winner of this series. And the question right now is, will Scoop City even make it over into that second round of playoffs here? Because JBB are looking very, very poised to take this one here up against Scoop City. They have the better draft. They're a game up, and they are ready to go here in game 2. So as soon as we load into the game, we will find out exactly what happens. We'll find out, for instance, will Scoop City, and Lucan, before we get into the game with me and Stefano on the cast, what do you think? Do you feel like there is going to be a huge level 1 invade in this game?
I feel like you should expect it. I feel like, if anything, just based on what they have, and we're in game, that it should be something that's expected. So we'll see what happens. But I think that there's potential there if you pick up pick a card and you have Bard. There's a lot of stun potential out there, and we'll see how it goes.
All right.
I'll leave it to you guys.
Well, we will say goodbye to Lucan for now, and we will get right into this game with Scoop Lord flashing in on the Bard and blowing the flash there from Kid Corito. So that's already going to be flash for flash there. Volibear not going to have that one available. And JBB versus Scoop City. Stefano, we have elimination on the line, and we got Dinsbag trying to take this 1v1 right away. Now, in level 1, Dinsbag definitely will be the winner there, but that is exactly why Sacknut's going to back right off.
Yeah, I gotta say, flashing level 1 from Scoop Lord is probably not going to end up being worth it. Bard, he did go for the Guardian, so he is a little bit tanky on this Bard, but not having flash against something that does have such all-in potential like GG Denied and Bahuoto can be very scary. We have to really look for the level 2 from JBB because they're almost certainly going to be looking to capitalize on Scoop Lord's lack of flash.
Yeah, JBB also always do a good job of this whenever they find a big invade. They do have one player available to get that ward, and you can see they are aware of exactly where Jelly is starting on this Xin Zhao, so that's going to be pretty tough, though. Here comes the bush gank. GG denied Bahu Utot. Double knockup comes in. Alistar's pretty much contributed all he can. Scoop Lord taking a lot of damage there. They're having to back off. Everybody's backing off here just to try and secure that CS, but that definitely went in favor of JBB.
Yeah, it's almost disaster for Scoop City. Alistair probably has the weakest level 1 in the game, and Bard arguably has one of the strongest, if not the strongest level 1 in the game. And for a fight to go that poorly, especially when Alistair is going to spike so much harder at level 2 and 3, this is a huge advantage for JDB.
Yeah, Scoop Lord as well, like we mentioned before, no flash, and here we go, Bahu Toad already taking advantage. Scoop Lord goes down on the signature Bard pick. Scoop Lord is destroyed by the early flash from Bahu Utot, and that's exactly what happens when you flash early. That can be what the bot lane does to take advantage. So there we go, JBB with the first blood, and it goes right there onto their star AD carry.
Yeah, that's the opposite of what you want to see. If this Tristana can get fed, if this Tristana has the ability,
okay, Scoop City finding a kill in mid lane. That's a very, very nice gank there. The Birdmang even expending the flash. You mentioned that Xerath might be a little vulnerable, but not much more to say about that. Sacknut, though, flashing in all 3 lanes, finding some action. Dinsbag gets the shield up, but Sacknut, we mentioned already, Riven was going to be stronger in the early game. Dinsbag, oh, that one more Q could have done it, but Sacknut with the kill, and already we're off to a fiery start. We were here with JBB 2-1 in kills.
Hey, this is what we were expecting when we heard Scoop City versus JBB.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God it's not one of those last games I saw. I saw the first part of it where barely anyone died. This is going to be a classic. 3 minutes in, 3 deaths. Let's see if we can get a death a minute for the rest of the game.
You know, we did end up with a death a minute last game in the end.
Yeah.
I know you weren't able to, but yeah, it's you know, it was a be careful what you wish for type of situation, that's for sure. But yes, Scoop City and JBB already taking it to each other early on here, and now as the lanes sort of reset a little bit, I don't know, when you're watching these two teams, whenever you look at any screen with any lane, it just looks like it's on a knife's edge just because you know who these players are. Now here comes the jump in. Scoop Lord, still no flash available. Remember, GG denied with so much damage. Last auto attack, doesn't quite get it. He jumps in. Kid Corito finds the kill. It was almost a miracle survival by Scoop Lord, but in the end, he goes down again. So the Bard just so targeted right now in this bottom lane.
This is so well played by JBB. They saw the flash burn and they knew exactly how to capitalize on it. Definitely a misplay from Scoop Lord letting this happen, burning his flash so early. But I can't stress how good of this is for JBB. If this Tristana is able to get fed, if she's able to be in this position where she doesn't have to fear being caught out because she just does more damage, she's going to be so far ahead. And we even see now Sacknut destroying Dinsbegs in the 1v1. This is looking so good for JBB.
I'm not even interrupting with play-by-play on these solo kills on Dinsbag anymore. It just seems like it's bound to happen. And yeah, you're absolutely right about them taking advantage of that Bard in the bot lane. So GG Denied just going to, you know, end up maybe being the primary carry of this entire series here. We know GG Denied is very, very good on that Tristana. We'll talk more about him later, as we did get a quick interview with him as well. But yeah, JBB definitely going to be very, very dangerous so far with Tristana 1-0-1. It's 2-0 on Sacknut on the Riven in the top lane. And yeah, we know what happens with Riven when she's able to get a couple of kills under her belt. That's exactly what she's designed for, is these types of early game plays. And Dinsbag going to be climbing very, very hard to try to get past this early game deficit on the Mordekaiser. And look at this, Sacknut now coming out of the bush. Dinsbag is just being bullied right here as Kid Corito is waiting as well. Dinsbag trying to get away, and there's still no flash available, obviously.
Yeah.
Tugs them both away. Will Kid Corito get a flash? Shield comes up for Dinsbag. Sacknut's going to find, and there we go. The ultimate comes down. JBB gets another one. And is this going to be a quick series? These two teams right next to each other in the standings. And, you know, JBB just looks like they have the prep, they have the moves, and they are just taking it to Scoop City right now.
I have to imagine that JBB in chat is timing flashes because they've been so good at abusing the lack of flash. They should know that bodybuilding doesn't have flash for the next, say, 20 or 30 seconds. Kid Carito is in the area. The Birdman has TP, so he's likely to TP back with Kid Carito coming in. It might be another very well-timed gank by the side of JBB.
Now, Jelly finds a dragon here. At least it's something. But yeah, it looks like they are setting up nicely. Kid Carito even looking for the mid lane. And so bodybuilding was able to deny that recall from the Xerath, which prevented the scenario you were talking about. So at least that's something for bodybuilding as well, able to avoid the gank from the volley bear because of that. But Scoop City as well do take the dragon. So they at least find some good pathing for Jelly, who, you know, sometimes does get put in this carry position, and right now with the only kill, they might be looking to do the same thing. Jelly not allowed onto the Lee Sin, sort of his signature. Lee Sin and Kha'Zix are Jelly's sort of bread and butter, but still, Scoop City might be having to rely on Jelly in order to get them through this really, really tumultuous early game and find a way back in to sort of stabilize here in game 2.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can even see now Kid Carito, he's backing top lane, and I'm pretty sure it's just because they don't know the exact timing on Dinsbag Flash. I think they believe he has it up. But he's going to stop his back. He's going to go now. His Flash is just barely not up. You can see he E'd preemptively expecting the Flash.
Yeah, Death Realm goes down, though, onto Kid Carito, who uses the ultimate. Dinsbag still out damaging him, but it's about to run out. Goes back for the Q. Kid Carito still has the ultimate, still has a bunch of damage. Now Sacknut will find the kill. Bodybuilding just trying to get something back. Kid Carito's pretty tanky, though. Bodybuilding with the flash. Flashes away. Bodybuilding gets the kill. Sacknut not going to be able to finish anything off. Will get the yellow card. Wait, will Sacknut be able to get this kill? The ultimate comes through. Jelly has to try to finish it off as Sacknut now has no flash. Jelly continuing to go forward. We see the fight in the bot side as well, but Jelly still, the E's about to come up again. There it goes.
Sacknut can win this.
1, 2, Sacknut. Yeah, if Jelly wanted to keep going, there was a potential, and so Jelly had to back off. Xerath ult dissuading him even more. So Scoop City are down so far in this game, down over 1,000 gold, 7-2 in kills, and look at that Riven, 5-0-0. Sacknut already went legendary on Lee Sin last game, and he's popping off on Riven in this game as well.
Yeah, this is the exact, or one of the scenarios you really don't want, or you do want for JBB, as they're going aggressive now. TP's coming in.
Bahuto having to try to get bodybuilding away, but they're using the TF pretty well so far. And there we go. The ultimate from Bard comes in, but the cavalry's here coming into Birdman, takes out bodybuilding in one hit. GG denied. Jumps in so aggressively, and Maiden ADC goes down. Scoop Lord as well is going to be taken out. A double kill. Disaster strikes for Scoop City if they had any chance of dealing with this Fed Riven. Now they got a 3-0 and 2 Tristana to worry about.
Disaster for Scoop City. Why are you chasing? You have no vision. You can clearly see the jungle and mid are missing. Their mid just TP'd down. There was so much risk in that play and such little reward, and they get hard punished by it. Tristana now gets a triple or a double kill, I should say. She's going to be so far ahead. Riven's far ahead. The only point of maybe a little bit of pride is the fact that your jungler is 1-0, but Xin is not the type of champion that is going to be able to carry against triple frontline and hyper range backline. This is going to be so hard for Scoop City going forward.
No, Scoop City pretty much want a time machine to go back to Season 1 or 2 when Xin Zhao was first released and was able to actually fight 1v9 in those fights. But right now on this patch, that is not the state that Xin Zhao is in. And so Scoop City have almost no hope, it seems, unless if there's a huge mistake. Sacknut actually gets put in the death realm there. Dinsbag trying to find some sort of damage as the gank does come in here, bodybuilding, but Sacknut might be able to outplay
He kills them both.
So much damage. Sacknut, bodybuilding, go, pops the Zanyas there, and so Dinsbag will be able to chase them away. All they get out of Sacknut is the ultimate, though. Not even the flash being expended. It wasn't up. So that's still going to be Scoop City trying to force these kills, force a comeback, and not finding anything at all. Scoop City are so far behind, and they are so on the back foot in this game.
Man, that was so smart by JBB. He had better map awareness than I do, and I wasn't even playing the game. I'm supposed to be looking at that. But he saw Jelly coming in the 3v2, knew it wasn't there, as Kid Carito's setting up for a dive bottom lane.
Kid Carito looking for this. Now, Scoop Lord does have that ultimate available, so we'll see what kind of use he can get out of that. Does use it. takes out 2 of them. GG Denied's left alone with Scoop Lord, but the Jinx just got too low initially. Nice stun there by Scoop Lord, but Bahu Utot with the ultimate will be able to get out as well. So JBB just take it from bad to worse for Scoop City. They successfully get that dive. 5-0-2 now on this Tristana. 5-0-0 on the Riven. JBB... they are in just such a dominating position. It seems almost impossible for Scoop City to come back. Birdman flashing in. Bodybuilding has been one of the shining lights here up against the JBB lineup, but Bodybuilding even just is not in a position to do much here. And oh no, the Comet is the thing that takes him down in the end. Dragon goes down as well, and that's the Birdman using that ultimate to be able to get the final kill there after that fight in the mid lane. Man, it is just, I am speechless with what JBB is doing to Scoop City in this game right now.
Yeah, this is, they're playing it so well, but oh man, even, what is this, the 6th kill?
Dinsbag gonna go down here. Yep.
Yeah.
Stops in his tracks.
It happens, but this is one of these games where JBB is playing it so well, but they also have such a huge advantage. So much of this is just because of the draft. Scoop City needed to win early game, and you can see in the spot lane, using the flash early, giving Alistair all the ammunition he needed, and it's GG Denied, now about to get a double kill, 7-0 on this Tristana.
Aiden ADC gonna go down as well. 7-0, like you say, almost to that legendary status here. And yeah, Scoop City, I don't know what they even need. They need a miracle right now. It is just, we say it a lot, but it really is true right here, because Scoop City are completely out of options in this game.
Yeah, I mean, best case scenario, Xin can get a few more kills, maybe kill the Tristana a few times, slow down her scaling, but I don't even think Xin wins the 1v1 now, which is the opposite of what you want. That's the only thing that Xin should be able to do is assassinate him. You can see he does next to no damage there, and now he's retreating.
Yeah, has to back off here along with Scoop Lord here. And it looks like Scoop Lord, our player to watch, might only get this one series to show his stuff. And on the Nasus, he was definitely looking like he had some potential, but on the Bard, like you said, it just didn't work into this composition. It was not going to be effective unless you get way ahead. And, with blowing that flash in the early game, taking a couple of kills, Scoop City just were not able to have any options here in terms of using that Bard, trying to get those roams. And they tried, Stefano. They had the Twisted Fate, getting into multiple lanes, even getting a kill here and there, Jelly ganking as well. But JBB, with those advantages once again in the side lanes, just destroyed their competition here, and now it just seems insurmountable.
Yeah, even Jelly can't they can't 3v2 bot here. This kid he does going, he's just dropping the Rift Herald. But yeah, this isn't even a gank that you can do for Scoop City now. As the TF ult comes in, maybe now it's doable, but still a huge risk.
They need to take out GG Denied, and yeah, look how little damage they do to anybody here. There's 4 players just wailing away on this Alistar. Will they finally take him down? Yes, Scoop Lord in the end, but here comes the Xerath ultimate. That one's going. One more, and Maiden ADC goes down to Birdbang with the sniper. I know Lucan's going to be proud in chat of that one, because that's the second ult kill from the Birdbang. Here's Sacknet going in on Dinsbag and going to kill him once again. Dinsbag just looks like he has flipped the coin to the wrong side this game, unfortunately. And yeah, the 4-man dive, they only end up with the kill on Alistar, and they trade it for the kill. And the ADC, GG Denied, though, tries to go in, flashing away, and finally they shut him down. GG Denied just going way too far there. I do not understand that decision, but it does give the shutdown over to Bodybuilding on the Twisted Fate.
Yeah, that's part one of the probably the 5-part miracle that Scoop City needs to come back in this game is that huge shutdown. I didn't actually see who got it, but I'm fairly certain it was Bodybuilding. Okay, that is definitely something that is going to be really good if there's someone you need to get ahead in a more pick-based composition. It is going to be the TF. I would have preferred he'd gone for the cooldown boots, but there's a TP coming in on the Birdman.
Bodybuilding using the Everfrost, and the Birdman goes down just like that. Great teleport there coming in from Bodybuilding. And yeah, Bodybuilding really looks like he's putting the team on his back here. It is Jelly who ends up with the kill, so 2-0-2. And Dinsbag stealing the red away. Nice job there. Aiden ADC, though, is so endangered by this Tristana here. Scoop Lord coming in to sort of try and dissuade, but he's just another target for the Tristana. Teleport coming in now the other way. Bodybuilding now in danger here up against Sacknut. And yeah, all he can do is try to take down the turret. He does manage to get it, so at least getting something out of that before going down. And the Dragon's up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, smart recognition by bodybuilding, but I understand why he's such a bodybuilder. If he's got to carry his team like this, he's got to be jacked in some capacity with some extra BM coming out from GG Denied, evidently knowing that this game's just about as in the bag can be.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we say that, I will warn you all, I've got a pretty bad thunderstorm outside my house, so I suppose there is a chance that my power could go out, and then Stefano will be left on his own to cast the rest of this game. But, you know.
Goes out again.
Yeah, you know, and then, of course, and then Stefano's internet goes out, and then it's just Kieran having to jump in and cast at the same time as produce the entire show. So hopefully we don't get to that point. I don't want to put anyone in that position, but hopefully we're all good. And it looks like this series is going to be over pretty soon regardless, Stefano, because JBB are just steamrolling down this game. Maiden ADC tries to go for the rocket. Doesn't manage to find anything there. 19-7 the score. A 5,000 gold lead here for JBB. 7-1-3 on the Tristana. 8-0-0. Sacknut has gone legendary in both of these games, and relatively quiet, though quite good over the course of the season. And Sacknut just destroying the competition in this particular series, both on Lee Sin, which we haven't seen much of Lee Sin top at all in this league so far, but it is very good in the meta, and now on Riven, which is a totally off-meta pick. Sacknut is absolutely crushing Scoop City right now.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do from this point if you're Riven? Or if you're Scoop City trying to deal with Riven, you have a gold card, and that's really the only consistent CC that you're going to be able to land on this Riven. But even if the Riven gets double CC'd, she still has a very good chance of 1v3 in here.
Here's the ultimate from Twisted Fate. Bodybuilding going to catch out Sacknut, but look at how little damage they do. That was just sad to watch. GG Denied, though, not struggling for damage at all. Going to go for the 1v2. Maiden ADC not even able to kite back, just has to run away. A double kill, 1v2. Sacknut now might finally go down here. The pull misses, though. Jelly trying to get more, but yeah, this is the problem with a fed Riven. The cooldowns, Sacknut almost goes down, but they can't get him, even in with a 3 versus 1, while GG Denied hits a 1v2 on the other side of the map. And after that, man, what a tilting play. Scoop City have, you know, what do you even do to reset your mental after something like that happens?
Dude, I don't think you can reset your mental. I think you just got to go play a different game for a bit. Maybe switch on some Valorant, because there's no way you're playing League after being tilted. Even if they had gotten that kill, that 700 gold shutdown on Riven, that still would have been an unworthy trade for them. Is bodybuilding now the only good part of their team is going to go down.
Absolutely. Bodybuilding goes down. Bahutot finding that kill in the end. And so, yeah, Scoop City, I don't know, man. This is their elimination match, and they kind of pulled out all the stops in the composition department. They tried to go for a bunch of comfort picks, maybe. It just is not going to pay off. Sacknut once again gets caught, but what are you even supposed to do? Sacknut just doesn't die right now. Black Cleaver completed. He's way ahead of anybody else on the map in terms of levels with level 13. It just seems completely impossible for Scoop City to get that shutdown gold ever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Scoop City can be going for the shutdown gold. They just need to be making 1 or 2 picks, and it can't even be on the most 2-fed members.
GG Denied finding a kill already. Dinsbag is putting GG Denied into the death realm, but Scoop Lord's going to go down already. GG Denied just zipping and zooping around. Dinsbag not able to lock him down whatsoever, and this might be the final push of the season for Scoop City. They are not going to be able to deal with anything that JBB throw at them right now. It is pretty much statistically impossible to come back from this point. An inhibitor's going to go down. They are likely going to back off here and maybe continue, maybe look for the Baron, but if they catch out Jelly, that might change. Flashing away. Jelly looking to get back into the base, and they are diving straight through those towers. Is this the throw that Scoop City needs to stay alive here? Sacknut going to go in and find the kill using the Gore Drinker, and Sacknut still keeps getting away. Those cooldowns so low right now. This is painful here. Man, JBB is just destructive on Summoner's Rift right now. They're going to back off from this particular push, but they are still likely to close this one out 2-0, and they are almost certainly going to be your semifinalists to face Birds Aren't Real next round, next weekend.
Yeah, clapped, gapped, and taken off the map is Scoop City. Even there, JBB doing their very best to throw the game, isn't able to throw it completely. Now Sacknut's going to continue trying to throw, deciding that Krugs are the objective he needs to steal, and he is going to get the shutdown. It's on to Mordekaiser, which is something, but even still, after being shut down, he still has a 550 gold shutdown, 3 items compared to the 1 of his counter top laner. This is still just unwinnable for Scoop City.
Yeah, pretty much unwinnable here. And yeah, as we see Bahuto probably going to get caught out here. A lot of damage down onto the Alistar. Will he be able to pop the ultimate? Does finally pop it in the end, just in time for his team to catch up. Maiden ADC does take him down, but Jelly has gone down as well. Now to Birdmang in danger here from Maiden ADC. Kid Kurito, though, so tanky. Birdmang finding a kill there. Dinsbeg trying to go on to GG Denied, but he just has no chance whatsoever. Unreal from GG Denied. Yeah, and that's just going to be all she wrote. Fights all over the map. Nothing's really affecting anything. And Sacknut, man, I don't even know what to say about this game. They're just, it's just a death match at this point.
They're just having fun with it. It does look like they're going to go for the end, but this play by Dinsbeg was the most aggressively juggernaut thing I've ever seen. Just walks at the AD carry for like a solid 5 seconds, doesn't get any hits off where he almost gets died. As soon as he gets close, he gets CC'd, gets knocked back out. There was never a chance that Dinsbeg could win that. I doubt even in a 3v1 they could take down GG Knight. It has to be a 4v1, and it's only going to get worse from this point on.
Yeah, absolutely. Only going to get worse. Hopefully it doesn't get worse for too long, because JBB, they're in the point where you were trying to just get them to put us out of our misery here in this game. The Dragon Soul Point is here, and yeah, Sacknut looking for another engage. Sacknut getting a little bit far into the team. Will he be able to find something here, or will he actually finally get taken down? Looks like he's trying to get out here. Sacknut's still looking for that perfect game, but Maiden ADC's finding him. Will Sacknut finally go down? He will. The shutdown once again goes over to Twisted Fate. That's going to be bodybuilding. They're taking him down, and Scoop City. I mean, well, they finally get the shutdown. They deny the perfect game over to Sacknut. Oh, he actually had gone down once, but yeah, Scoop Lord once again going to go down to GG Denied.
Oh, he's going to Goomba
hopping all around.
Them.
Oh, no! The one shot coming in for the double kill onto GG Denied, shutting him down as well. And yeah, it's just a complete bloodbath out here. Man, Dinsbag trying to find something on Kid Kurita, but look how little damage he's doing. This is just sad to watch. And Dinsbag is going to go down as well. They don't really have a wave here, though.
I don't think they want a wave. I think they're having too much fun down the game, is I think what's happening right now.
Yeah.
I think they're just running around, killing them over and over again. Looks like Baron's going to be the next objective for them. They don't have an ADC up, but Sacknut at this point, does just as much damage. And we can even see just in terms of itemization here, GG Denied got the QSS. And if that's not the nail in the coffin, then I don't know what is, because you can't CC this Tristana, you can't be tanky against this Tristana, you can't outdamage this Tristana. I think you just have to FF and go up next at this point, because never mind the rest of the team, Tristana can probably 1v5.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much 1v5 potential over here on JBB right now. Just a zoning ultimate from the Xerath. Doesn't actually really find much, and there goes the Bard ultimate as well, but what even avenue do you have into this fight here? Dinsbag is pretty much a walking caster or walking melee minion right now. They have to go for some sort of steal. Jelly goes in maybe a little bit early. Does he find it? He does! That's going to be Jelly finding the Baron, and they also are looking for the fight here. Kid Kurito healing up a lot. A double kill from Jelly. What is happening, Stefano? How is this possible? They actually get the Baron, and they win the team fight.
If Scoop City wins this game, I'm quitting League of Legends. Like, it's I will actually just quit League of Legends. I'll uninstall it. I'll make a whole stream out of it, because it looks like now they're about to get the ace. They're diving the Birdman. A little bit of HP left on, and He's kiting away with his life. Jelly had to bat. Oh, bodybuilding get executed to tower.
Yeah, bodybuilding got executed. You know, but here we go. The replay coming in, and Jelly just gets the steal, finds it off of that.
Yeah, and we see it looks like so much of JBB just goes to focus on the Xin Zhao, apparently not knowing what his ultimate does. And meanwhile, on the backline, it is going to be made in ADC, just able to free hit. There wasn't any pressure put on any of the damage. They just threw all their abilities into the Xin Zhao, was completely useless. And now Xin Zhao, 6-2. He definitely has the threat. I think he has Shield Bow Collector, and he looks like he's going for the Essence Reaver next. He's definitely going to be able to one-shot GG Denied on this Tristana.
And that is exactly what he's going to need to do here. But the other thing you've got to take into account is, made in ADC being allowed to free hit in that fight. And I was ready to just wrap this one up and kind of say our goodbyes for this match here. But Scoop City look like they're not quite finished just yet. They want to find some sort of comeback here, and they find it around the Baron buff there. But still, it's a huge lead, 3,000 gold, and the score is 37-19, as well as on Soul Point here with 57 seconds left on that fourth dragon for JBB if they get it. So that's going to be the question. Do JBB try to go for that soul? They are already looking for vision around that area of the map. They're looking to find an opportunity to maybe get a pick onto Scoop City, who are wearing that Baron buff. And so they are going to be looking maybe to, get those lanes pushed up. Jelly might be caught out here, though. And here
TP from
comes the
bodybuilding.
fight. Teleport comes in as well. Jelly has already got another kill. Jelly is absolutely popping off, but he does get shut down in the fight. So here is Kid Corito trying to find the backline. Made in ADC way in the middle of everybody going around. Here is the Sacknut going in. Sacknut does manage to find the kill. Kills are going back and forth. How is this fight so close? I do not understand, but Kid Corito gets pushed back. And bodybuilding still alive. They don't have a lot of sustained damage left in the fight for Scoop City, but still enough to make JBB turn tail and run. Bahutot gets pulled in. Sacknut wants to go back in. Can he find this fight? Dinsbag now with a little bit more damage. Dinsbag has to use that stopwatch, and now with the teleport coming in, that's going to force them away. Bahutot's going to go down. Once again, it looks like Scoop City are the ones to sort of come out ahead in that fight.
It's fine.
I never sure how they did this.
It's fine. I didn't like League of Legends. I'm okay with quitting it. So,
you know what you're doing to our broadcast team, Scoop City, if you find a way back in here.
Oh my goodness. JBB needs to stop doing whatever they're doing. They have such easy front to back. They don't need to be going for picks. They don't need to be forcing these fights at these weird angles. All they need to really do, or all they needed to do, was just run at them from the center. They have an Alistair, Riven, Volibear. All of them can just run at you, click their buttons on you, and destroy you, but they keep going for weird angles. Made in ADC lived for so long because there was two people going for him, while Jelly was just in the front line. He took GG Denied out first, which should never happen. They need to just take a deep breath and slow down. Get your back line in the back, get your front line in the front, and play it slow. They're not too far ahead in gold, but they're still so far ahead in items where it counts. They have an extra item up on the ADC. They have about an extra item up in top lane. They're down a little bit in the jungle, but even mid lane, they're only down about half an item. Support, they're up an item. They just need to play it slow and not throw.
Yeah. See, now Jelly, will he be able to find this 1v1? The Collector is up. Sacknut does find that. That's 4 items on Riven. Even if Fed Xin Zhao is not going to be able to find much there. But Sacknut might be in trouble here as Jinx now is on the hunt. And there's Scoop Lord with a great Bard ultimate to lock them both down. Sacknut heals so much from the Gore Drinker. Will it be enough? Dinsbag goes down. There is GG Denied trying to find more. GG Denied going in, using the Gale Force to get around. And here is JBB on the push. Bodybuilding gets a bunch of damage taken down. GG Denied waits for the yellow card, flashes in, goes in. Bodybuilding uses these Zhonya's to get away. Now Bahutot's the only one left. Bahutot finds the kill. That's Scoop. That's Bodybuilding going down. And now GG Denied, De Birdmang, and Bahutot will try to push for the end. It doesn't look like they have the wave, though. They're going to go for this inhibitor, maybe go for the top one as well. JBB, why was I so excited about them winning a team fight when they're this far ahead? It just looks like anything can happen in this game right now.
They still almost lost that they were losing that at the front because GG Denied was not able to output any form of DPS. He was stuck behind the wall there for a little bit. He was able to get over, and at that point, he's so fed that he's able to clean up. But Stoop City doing a good job of isolating GG Denied, making sure he can't come back. If they can keep doing this, they have the agency and the ability to get GG Denied to stop. This is still definitely a winnable game from Scoop City somehow.
I don't understand how, but I think you might be right. And yeah, you know, we talked about the scaling. You know, if they can find ways to keep Jinx alive, and they sort of have, then they might have something that they're able to do. Now, here comes the teleport. They have to rush this Baron if they want to find it. Almost stolen there. The Bard ultimate coming down. Scoop City wondering if they have to take this engage. It looks like they don't want to. So the Baron is secured by JBB. Now it's going to be about a 5,000 gold lead picked up once again over on that blue side. And so you've got to rely on Sacknut to just continue to find these picks with that Riven, continue to find maybe some flanks, and keep GG Denied alive on that 18-4 Tristana here. 4 items completed, working, got the QSS as well, so that Tristana is completely deadly here. Only 2 items completed really on the Jinx, maybe waiting. There we go, that's the Infinity Edge now finished as well, so interesting to see, by the way, the rapid fire cannon on the Jinx. I think I would prefer Runan's Hurricane, but I don't know. What's your thought? Maybe with the lack of peel, you just want to stay a little further away?
I mean, it is, a lot of people do go Runans when they're not grouping up, or, I mean, rather they go rapid fire when the enemy's not grouping up, but I think Runans definitely would have been preferable this game. There is a lot of frontline. You're going to be consistently hitting more than one of them. There is some added value in the fact that JBB doesn't seem to know how to play their cards very well, and they keep splitting up accidentally, so maybe in that sense, rapid fire cannon's better, but overall, I think Runans was definitely just the right call for an ADC.
Yeah. It definitely does seem a little bit more efficient, but rapid fire cannon, yeah, like you say, keeps you a little safer. Now the push coming in, only pressuring one lane here, and of course those other 2 lanes inhibitors are already down, so JBB focusing everything on bot side. They have to be a little bit afraid. They know Scoop City have the potential to try to find some sort of comeback here in this game, but still a huge gold lead, 6,000 almost now in the lead are JBB. Look at the poke. There we go. That's something we've got to talk about, and it hasn't come to too much fruition in this late game yet, but still, they are in so much danger from that Xerath poke off the Q, so they are going to really have to watch out. Scooplord already on 50% HP. Sacknut now picking up those mid lane minions and trying to get them to push into the Nexus so that they can get a little bit more pressure down towards the bot lane. Sacknut also with the threat. Here we go. They're going in. Kid Corito just tanking this tower up. No problem. They're going to be able to get all 3 inhibitors down here. Scoop City, do they look for the engage here, or do they wait until all the marbles are focused in onto their 2 Nexus turrets? Scoop City is down to the wire. It's time for them to make their last stand. Here it goes. Jelly going in with the ultimate. Knocks them away. Lots of damage coming in from that Xin Zhao. But that's a lot of the damage available. Jinx having to do so much work here, and it is on a knife's edge. So much tension right now. The Bard ultimate comes down, doesn't hit anybody. But look at that. The poke coming in might have dissuaded JBB. Birdmang not finding much either. Stefano, this is so nerve-wracking right now.
This is very uncomfortable now. They do have the triple inhib, so the double super minions are going to start coming now. They just need to play it slow, but they're going in now.
Bear going in. The engage comes through. Will they be able to find it? Maiden ADC has already taken down Kid Corito. Sacknut finds a kill, though. That's going to be 1 for 1 so far. Dinsbag puts Sacknut into the death realm. Sacknut just trying to avoid it. He needs to do damage to the entire team. He can't just be fighting Dinsbag. Maiden ADC gets the crit, but the tower has gone down. It's so close here. The stopwatch comes out from Birdmang. There is damage coming in. The Jinx is doing so much here. That's Maiden ADC going ham right here onto the rest of JBB, and they defend for one last time. A quadra kill coming in from the Jinx.
I'm so tilted. I'm actually just so giga tilted right now. I don't understand. You have so much ability to dive, to get on this backline. You have such an ability to force to get this Jinx off. This 3-item Jinx, this Jinx which can now be classified as a hyper carry, and for some reason you're diving the Mordekaiser under tower. I don't know what JDB is doing with their team fights. It does look like Scoop City is going to be getting the dragon, so there's Kid Credo is going to contest for the possible Dragon Soul. I think he's going to be a little bit too late. There's still 3 inhibs down for JBB. They still are in a great position to win, but their team fighting has been so sloppy in this late game.
Wow, it is just on a knife's edge here at this point, and I never thought I'd be saying that after the early game we saw here from Sacknut on that Riven. The comeback may be on, but there is not a single tower remaining for Scoop City. All it takes is one teleport into the base from Sacknut to end this game as long as an inhibitor is down. And JBB still have complete control of this entire map. You have to say they totally outplayed Scoop City in the early and mid game. It's just this late game, a couple of team fights where they just didn't quite have the right approach, and Scoop City capitalized. A lot of it goes onto Jelly here on this Xin Zhao for making some really amazing plays in those critical moments. But yeah, JBB still so much control. Bahuto just brazenly in. Bahuto might get caught out. Death timers are pretty long here. Dinsbag already puts him in the death realm, but that might not be the target you want. Bard ultimate goes through, but it doesn't find anybody. Dinsbag now does finally take out the Alistar. Lots of damage going on to him. GG denied, free hitting on the backline. GG denied with more auto attacks. Maiden ADC might go down. He does that end it? Bodybuilding goes down as well. Scoop Lord is the only player remaining. Scoop Lord on the Bard. GG denied. Flashes over it. Beautiful flash, and that's gonna do it, Stefano. JBB are your semifinalists. They are gonna push down to the Nexus. They get the 2-0. They are going to face Birds Aren't Real next week in the semifinals.
Finally, a very well-played fight by JBB. Obviously, Bahuoto in the beginning wasn't what they wanted, but they were able to fight back. Xerath got a lot of value out of his AoE skill shots, hitting all of them. Then so crucially, Jinx stepped up just a bit too far, didn't see the Tristana over the wall, and Tristana was able to pick off the Jinx. Not normally what you see late game in an ADC versus ADC fight, but GG denied, getting in range, being able to get those hits off, commit so much DPS is going to be what wins the game. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't nice, but JBB comes out with the win in the end.
Wow. Incredible stuff there from JBB. In particular, you got to shout out Sacknut with amazing performances in both games on that top lane. The Lee Sin in the first game with the legendary performance. Riven going absolutely ham in the second game. I almost almost let loose a bit of a more intense gamer word there, but yeah, wow, it is just amazing from what Sacknut was able to accomplish here as well. GG denied, ridiculous damage coming in, and that's going to be JBB securing their spot in the next round of playoffs. Lucan, I saw you in the chat, hamming it up with the boys. I want to know your thoughts on this game. JBB absolutely destroying Scoop City here. And, just tell me a little bit about your reactions to the game 2 here.
I think it probably would have gone better if they had utilized the Xerath late game like you're supposed to.
Okay. Okay, we got Xerath.
There was a couple of comments about him going melee range, which can work, but usually should not be done. And the game may have lasted a lot longer than it should have.
May have lasted longer than it should have might be the understatement of the entire year so far. I would say it lasted quite a bit longer than it should have. Yeah, that's for sure. We are going to try and set up an interview with one of the JBB players here after this game, but while we wait for that to be confirmed, we are going to continue to chat a little bit about what happened here. Stefano, let's go back to the draft. We already talked about we already talked here about how Scoop City had a really kind of odd draft coming into this game. They really had some very, very unusual things happening with their picks, with the Bard first pick, with the Jinx, with no protection really for her. And in the end, they really were managing to make that comp work. But what do you think? Did this come down to a draft diff?
I mean, you had a great word for it, which was odd. I'm going to use another word and say their draft was just shit. It was just, I'm fine. It was poopy. It was just a bad draft. And at the end of the day, it didn't really end up being a draft diff so much, just because JBB didn't end up really capitalizing on what made their draft so effective. They ended up playing into Scoop City's draft pretty well. And we saw once we got to that late game, 3-4 item Jinx is a complete monster. He was almost able to 1v5 the game. So even though it wasn't a good draft, Scoop City was really able to play around their draft extremely well. It didn't end up winning them the game. So just imagine if they did have a good draft.
All right. Well, we are going to bring in GG Denied for an interview about that quarterfinal match here. We're bringing him in right now. GG Denied, welcome to the channel. And I just want to start off by saying congratulations. And, you know, what do you think about their choice not to ban Tristana from you in game 2?
I thought it was pretty troll, but they kind of had to ban the Lee Sin since our top laner literally Giga Smurfed on them.
True enough, yeah.
Was it a Giga Smurf or was it Din's?
Din's was on Samira
Din's
first game.
diff.
Din's was on Samira first game.
Wasn't Din's
Din's
diff
ADC,
in
yeah.
the first game? True.
That's
Well,
fair.
you know, kind of going off of that, you know, we know you had a monster performance on the Tristana, but like you say, Sacknut definitely pulling out some crazy stuff here in the top lane. Now, Sacknut hasn't been kind of a really crazy carry on your team in the last little while. So, you know, do you see him pop off like that in scrims or in your solo queue with him? Is this just like Sacknut unleashed, and is this what we're going to be seeing more of in the playoffs?
Well, to be honest, he's pretty much like a super lane dominant player. And so something like Lee Sin where he can just, and obviously the top gap in skill is just massive to begin with. So when he gets Lee Sin, like it was just over. And he is a Riven one trick, or not one trick, but he used to be a Riven one trick. And I mean, if you look at our last games, they banned Riven a lot of the games. So, yeah, they gave us Riven, and we pretty much knew it was over the second he got Riven. And the second we saw they subbed in for Maiden ADC, we knew that Dins was going to be top. And I mean, he was like 19-0 on Riven on Renekton last game.
Yeah.
He's our Chinese top lane import.
There we go. Making full use of that import rule in the CECS, which of course is non-existent. So anyway, yeah, congratulations on the match, dude. You know, the bot lane, of course, very dominant. Now I have to come back though to game 2 because it looked like you were gonna just take care of it pretty easily, and then that fight at Baron happened, and there was a bit of a comeback potential coming in. What was going through everybody's head and maybe through the voice chat when that fight happened and when it looked like Scoop City actually might look like they might maybe come back?
Yeah, we're pretty much like, oh shit, we trolled, and a little bit worried about the Jinx. One thing I just want to say is, I see Dins in the chat talking about Smurfs, but if you look at their whole team, they only got one guy with match history.
All right. Yeah, no, I think he was just clowning on you anyway. He knows he got beat fair and square. No worries about that one. But yeah, definitely a spicy chat so far. Now,
how do you draft when they got 5 games in solo queue?
Now, GG Denied, I want to move on from that subject and talk to you about next week, because you're going to be going up against the #1 team, Birds Aren't Real, who've been really dominant throughout the entire series, throughout the entire league so far. I know that you've been playing against them. You've taken them really close sometimes, and you've got the chance. But what are you doing to prepare for that matchup against Birds Aren't Real?
I think that last time we played them, we had like really unfortunate level 1s. Like their Diana got a triple kill and came to lane against our mid laner with a Hextech alternator, and then rotated up and got red buff. So it was kind of doomed from level 1. But pretty much, I think their mid jungler are their best players, so we're gonna focus there.
All right, so shoring up that early game mid jungle. All right, well, Stefano and Luke, and I'll pass it over to you now to anything you want to talk to GG Denied about here.
You gotta go first, Stefano, or
I was gonna let you go first.
I insist. Ladies first.
Oh wow! All right, I had to throw in an insult there. All right.
So you're the guy that said the team was shit.
So I think the main thing I wanted to ask you was more of a personal question: is how well do you study builds? Because I don't think I've ever seen you, or I think maybe one time I've disagreed with your build throughout every time you play, but because every other time you are so consistent with with what I would argue is the right choice. Like I think USS was a really smart pickup at that point in the game. The Gale Force was much better than like I know a lot of players would have gotten Kraken Slayer. So is that something you kind of just feel out, or is that like you following like a very strict, almost math formula type of thing?
There's no math formula for sure. It's kind of just feel out how the game's going. And I mean, if I know that the only way I'm going to die is if I get CC'd and chain CC'd, then QSS just seems like an obvious choice. And then, I mean, we were so far ahead, so Gale Force just allows me to snowball and just one-shot anyone with the active, so.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
I guess my question would be down to like, how does your team communication come down, and do you guys have an order to things, and how you guys are maneuvering
The
around
shot
like the
caller.
champs leg, the shot calling, your draft? Like, how are you guys approaching that one? Because I gotta say, as much as it was very difficult to determine how you guys were going to be playing out the lanes in the first game, I would say that your draft in the first game really impressed me. Second game you threw in Xerath there, so I mean, like, hands down, it impressed me already. Like, just bringing that out. Like,
He wanted
champion.
he wanted to play Xerath first game, but he didn't think it was very good in Viego. I don't know. He's never played the matchup, so I don't know if it is good.
It's not a fun matchup.
Yeah. So he's been playing a bit of Nico, so he was just like, let's play Nico. But in terms of draft, I don't think there's any order. We kind of just play what we want. I mean, you saw in the last game we played Teemo mid. So
right.
I mean, that team was the last place team, but again, we just play what we think is good and what we want to play, and yeah. And then you can see from like generally we're trying to get our top laner a good matchup just because we feel like he's our best player.
All right. Well, not to spoil anything, but GG Denied will be. We're going to talk a little bit more about you on next week when we bring it up, because we did talk to you a little bit about some of those no frills player to watch interview questions. So just keep an eye out for that, everybody. Check out GG Denied up on the analyst desk. For now, we're going to let you go and rest after a well-deserved victory, man. Congratulations on making it to the semis, and best of luck to you next weekend against Birds Aren't Real.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Cheers.
Top Canyon, by the way.
Bot Canyon is the last word, and that is GG Denied from JBB, Joe's Big Biceps, who are your victors for today's semifinals. They are going against Birds Aren't Real next weekend. I believe that one's going to happen on the, we'll announce it soon. It's going to be either Saturday or Sunday. Obviously, those are the 2 days. But we are going to have that matchup tomorrow. We've got Casually Reformed up against Weasel Teasers. So stick around for that one. Come check that one out tomorrow at 7 p.m. And other than that, guys, I think that's going to do it for us today on the Red Bull Analyst Desk and for the CECS. I want to thank everybody for stopping by in the chat. And I don't know, Lucan, Stefano, Lucan, I'll go to you first. I really appreciate you kind of, transferring from player to analyst, our very own, the cadrel of CECS. Any last words about kind of this game, or anything else you wanted to get off your chest?
As far as it goes, I'm just disappointed that I'm not going to be able to collab with Dins on a diss track against Bar. That is the sadder portion about this. Overall, though, I gotta say, I'm looking forward to next week's games. As far as it goes for the lead up for this, we'll see how it goes, and I guess I was proven wrong today, unfortunately. Dins did not bring it out on top. Scoop City did not, but going forward with that as well too. Just we'll see how it goes ahead of here, and yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
Stefano, I know we talked a little bit about builds and drafts. I like that you shouted out the one player, GG Denied, who we brought in, is actually somebody whose build you've almost never had cause to flame over the course of the season.
It happened.
Yeah.
I'm not toxic. I'm just analytical. Stop telling me I'm mean, guys. See, I can be nice when people aren't stupid. It's fine.
All right. Well, what better way to end off our night for the Canadian Esports Championship Series? Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Thanks for all your memes in chat, and thanks to everybody who is playing in this league. So awesome to have local League of Legends showcased on Twitch, and I love that every one of you is participating in it. So that's awesome, and you're all awesome, and we will see you tomorrow for more League of Legends. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Stay safe. Stay salty.